Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and today we're going to interview girls basketball coach of the Hamilton Heights Huskies, Keegan Cherry. Welcome, Keegan.
Thanks, Perry. Appreciate you being here.
No problem. Keegan, let's get right to it here. Last year you had a very good season, 18-2. You know as well as I do, a lot of high expectations. You got 65% of your scoring back and 75% of your rebounding. So, but you got a talented group. And, one thing about it, the 18-2, when you look down the schedule, you may be a better team, but not win as many ball games because this is a very, very difficult schedule. You got a lot of really tough 4A teams. Let's talk a little bit about that.
We do, and talking about last year, the 24 class, those girls have played a lot of basketball together growing up, and one thing that has remained the same for that group is they've always won. So the expectations were high for them coming in. That class just in general loves to compete. They go at it in practice every day. So there was a very nice season, there's no doubt about it. And when you have success like they had, that puts a bullseye on your back. So we know our expectations are high. Last year with the COVID was a little bit skewed. We didn't have the opportunity to play some teams that would really challenge us, and teams that are going to really challenge us this year. Noblesville being one who we've got this Friday, but in addition, we didn't get Chatard, we didn't get Fishers, and we didn't get some of those teams that would really test us. That perhaps if we play, instead of losing 2 games on the season, maybe we lose 5 or 6.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, let's kind of talk about that team because, like you said, it's kind of a mix. You've got a veteran crew. Of course, you lose Julian Oswald, but now Maya Shields is here in her senior year. She had to set out last season. Very good basketball player, performed very well against Danville. So, losing Julia, yes, but now you have Shields playing, and then, of course, some of those other players. Let's talk about some of those players and talk a little bit about Maya and what she brings to this team.
Well, Jillian is a big piece, that we're missing from last year's team, who's now at Taylor, and I expect great things from her there at the next level. But Mia, this year being a senior and being eligible, is I'm really proud of that girl from the standpoint of. Last year she knew she wasn't ever going to be able to play. She wasn't eligible last year, so that put her in a different role. But she helped us win last year in different ways that wasn't seen, on game nights. She was a scout every day in practice, and she guarded and did all those things to make us better. She was bought in last year, and I told her at the beginning of the season this year, I said, I'm not worried about you because I knew last year you were bought in. We expect great things from her this year. She's a basketball kid. She plays year-round, and we're going to need her. She's got big shoes to fill with Jillian leaving. Michaela, the other senior, she's really our only significant size to speak of at 6'2", 6'3". So her role, we're all going to have to combine and collectively make up for Jillian's production. And those 2 seniors, I think, can definitely do that. Then you go into, Kaylee Roten, who's going to have a bigger hopefully have a bigger role, this year as a junior. She can really shoot it, Perry. When she gets going, she can make it.
And she had a very good summer this summer.
She did.
She's very good on that wing because she likes to. You have to take a shot there.
You have to guard her. Yeah, and then you go from there, and then we get into that 24 class. Those sophomores led by Cameron Runner, who was All-State, Ella Hickok, who never ever gets tired, just an Energizer bunny, and then Hadley. Of course, is so great in her role. She could care less about scoring. She enjoys screening and getting other people open just as much as anybody would normally, making that 3 or scoring at a high level. She understands her role, and she's great in that role, maybe as good as anybody on the team in terms of being great in her role. Other sophomores, Morgan Oninger will dress varsity. She's another one that she can make it. She can, as far as standing and shooting, she's maybe one of the better ones in the gym. But we'll bring her along, getting more confident in her ball handling and defensively, and just getting more reps. So hopefully by the end of the season, she's one that can help us. And then we've got a slew of freshmen coming in: Katie Brown, Taylor Harley, and others that get after it every day in practice, and they're going to continue to get better. So looking forward to watching them mature.
So you're going to need to develop some of those younger players as you go along here this season. But let's talk about Cameron Runner. I mean, she gets a lot of hype and everything, but she's every bit as talented ball player as you'll see in any division. And the one thing, and I was looking about on the recruiting side, you get your 22 class. You have two kids with Maya and Michaela that are in the top 80 players in the state of Indiana. There's a lot of players out there.
Right.
So being in the top 80, top 100, and then in that 24 class, you got two that are in the top 50, okay, and one being Cameron, the other one being Ella Hickok. So you have some great players there, and you got a lot of talent on the team. But let's talk about Cam, because the one thing about Runner is, I mean, she's getting a lot of looks. She's definitely, she's long, she's slender, she plays both ends of the floor. Had a great season last year as a freshman. I got her at 337 points, and that's a lot of points for a freshman.
She can score at a high level. She shoots it as well as anybody since I've been here at Heights. I mean, she can really stretch the floor. Cameron is a fantastic player that you look at taking that next level. She's going to be able to play, and somebody's going to get a heck of a player. Cameron is probably, in my opinion, as underrated as many. And that's nobody's fault other than she happens to live and go to school in Hamilton County.
Yes.
Hamilton County girls basketball has got a bunch of really, really great players. The Noblesvilles, the Southeasterns, the Westfields, Fishers, just a number of different girls that gain or, deservingly get a lot of attention. And I just feel like Cameron sometimes gets left out of that conversation. But they're all great players, and all the Runner sisters I've been lucky to coach. They're competitive. They're basketball kids, basketball family. Just a joy to coach, and it helps our gym. Other girls see that, and they want to have that success. And even as a sophomore,